I'm being very honest here, I'm freaking loving this show right now because this is literally what Certain Magical Index is for me. This is what I grew up on, like legit. Like this show came out back when I was in high school and everything, and I freaking loved it. And this is what I grew up on when I was in my high school age and all that. This is the show I enjoyed when I watching like back in the high school days and everything, and I personally loved it and adored it for what it was. And this episode is literally what I wanted for a long time in Certain Magical Index. This is literally the episode I wanted because I don't like I said, the first six episode isn't what I was looking for personally. I wasn't a big fan of those first six episodes because that whole arc was just I felt like it wasn't Certain Magical Index. Well, this arc and the one previous to this, the Aqua, whatever he was fighting, Will Immortal, that arc and this arc is what Certain Magical Index is. It's something where magic and science come together, either to fight against each other or basically like how this kind of a bond with each other. That's what a Certain Magical Index has been, and this last few episodes it's just been it has been Certain Magical Index. The characters have been acting like they are their own selves. The characters have been showing great stuff and like great development and all, and I just loved it. Even in this episode, let's just start off with this. Like I love how like they influence to the medieval period where the knights love to chase after like the fairy tales and everything. And yeah, I actually love that. I actually love the reference they do to the old days. This is kind of a mixture of a old plus a futuristic setting. That's it. Medieval plus a futuristic setting together, bought together. That is what this is, and I personally loved it for what it is. I love it for what it is. This is amazing for me to finally get what I have been waiting for a long time because it said it literally says the what used to happen in medieval times. The knights loved chasing after fairy tales, and witches are one of the fairy tales, and this is a witch right over here. Like that's quite cool, in my opinion. Even this sequence was pretty cool because this gives a nod back to this character back in the day where actually didn't like this character personally. I personally really didn't like this character, because I don't even remember her name right now. Like, it's been that long. Like, it has literally been that long since I watched Third Magical Index that I don't remember this character's name. Because this character, I forgot her name, but she was the one who uh, got got the chick, the one chick. I forgot her name. The other nun, I forgot her name. She was in that arc where she got him, but at that point, I didn't like the character for what it was because the character was just had bad intentions in a way. That's just how to put it. And since that, there was only like a filler arc, I think so, with this character. That's all I remember. There was just a filler arc with this character, and that's it. And there was no character development. So I'm actually excited to see what they're gonna do up with this character. I don't think that's a filler arc. I think so the filler arc in Sir Magical Index is the end of Sir Magical Index season 2. That's only the filler arc. But uh I think so that's I personally think so. I'm really excited to see what she can do here because it's been a long time since I've seen this character even show up in Sir Magical Index, like really long time. So personally, I'm ready to see what she's ready to do in action, and let's just see where we give it her. But let's talk about this. Um, queen, the princess, through what at least I see through this, is basically trying to take over the nation. That's all I can assume right now. The war princess, whatever her name is. She's trying to take over the nation, try to reform everything and all that, and make it a completely independent nation through what I see. Because she wants Britain to be its own thing, while all the other countries, Academy City and Magic and all that, is coming together and fighting with each other and all that. I think that that's basically what it is. Like pretend she wants Britain to be this independent country, and they fight for their own independence, rather than just them fighting against other countries. That's basically what I think so is happening here. I'm not pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure with the third magical index lore, so I don't know that well. But moving on to the next scene, this is what was surprising. Kaori just got bodied just like that. And it's, let me just tell you, it's not easy to body someone like Kaori. Kaori is a very strong person, and we even saw the proof of that when she fought William Orville. Like, she was damn strong when she was fighting William, and she was probably the strongest out there. And she was holding her own against someone who's equivalent of that strong. And for her to be defeated this easily, I would say she was going up against a really tough opponent, which I did not expect. And I also like that William Orville is finally here to like say the princess and everything. It is pretty cool in my opinion that how William just shows up out of nowhere, and it's like a hero saves a princess and all that. I know, but it maybe as cliche as it gets, it's still a pretty good way to do it. Like I personally enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed it. Not gonna lie, the way he showed up, the way he swung his sword and all that. Like damn, I actually love William's sword. I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous episodes, but I actually freaking love his sword. Like just looking at his sword, gives me this kind of a vibe that he is kind of this. I don't know if I have the picture right now for me, but it kind of gives it the vibe that he's kind of this badass character that I've been looking for a long time. Kind of reminds me of those huge ass swords that used to be in back in the days with Bleach. And yes, I'm rewatching Bleach, I know, but it kind of reminds me of that. And personally, I think that that's why I love the character, because it reminds me of Bleach in a lot of way with the long sword and all that. I'm not saying it's the same design and all that, but if I had to compare the sword to any anime, it would be Bleach, because Bleach had some long ass swords. Like I'm not even joking. Bleach had some long ass shikais. They were some long shikais, especially Kenpachi's Bankai. It's just, mm. Anyways, not getting too much off the topic. I also like this whole scene where Toma just like he bangs like both of her calves just like that, because she's like, geez, he's a magic breaker and all that. It's just like, geez, that was pretty funny in my opinion. But for me, the best scene was here, because I personally love this. This is I personally love the queen. Like she is definitely worth like some kind of love out there. Come on, like she's funny. She's straight up funny. Not only her, but how even the princess is funny. She was like, I loved how these two were going off, and I love the whole chemistry between these two. It was pretty funny in my opinion. Like I also like I loved how the princess is like, yeah, we hitchhiking. We're gonna do the hitchhiking job. It's like, jeez, like, yo, that was funny for me. That was straight up funny. But I personally loved how the queen just hopped onto the horse, and she's like, "Yeah, let's go." It's like, jeez, you gonna leave her alone back there, just like that, like just leave her alone, like that. That was funny. That was funny. Anyways, that's about it for this episode of uh, Sir Magical Index. I forgot the name for whatever reason. Let me know what you think about this episode of Sir Magical Index, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace.